while ago, we did a video about Lost Odyssey, a JRPG that totally changed the way I think about the genre, because I loved it. Before, I was never that bothered with that style of game. Putting that kind of time into any game other than the Yakuza games was fucking mental. And recently, I bought a PlayStation Vita. Now, don't ask me why, I just did. These things happen. And I thought, right, this is my chance to play Persona 4, a game that, again, I'd always written off. I'd heard tons of folk talking about Persona 3, Persona 2, talking about them on Twitter, just saying, these are the games you must play, but for me, I was never as bothered. And this is my chance, this is my wee video, my wee opinion, if you like, or a review, if you want to be conventional, of Persona 4 and how I feel having played this game. An RPG is only ever as good as its story. When you're investing 60, 70 hours into a game, you need more than just the promise of a bigger sword or fancy armour. The story in Persona 4 it's more than just a young man going to a new school, it's more than just a string of fights increasing in difficulty. It's a snapshot of life. Now don't get me wrong, I've not lost it here. I know it's still a video game, so it's not real life, but it's just so full of odd and brilliant things. The reason why it rings true to me, and the reason why I love it so much, it's just all about these characters that you actually feel affection for them. No character is ever unbearable, which is rare for a Japanese RPG, and the journey you go on with some of them can be genuinely affecting. In particular, the central relationship between your uncle Dojima and his daughter, Nanako, is as close to perfect as you could ask for, full of heartbreak, loneliness, and brilliant redemption. There's times in this game where I'm not the kind of guy that cries at video games, but there's been times where I could understand why people could. This game is just full of heart. And that heart is what will drag you in. Even if you look at this game, no, I'm not sure, it will drag you in. This is a game where you'll invest that time into these characters, into these beautiful, perfect wee moments, and you won't regret a second. You wanna come out going round and round. With the female characters, you can get to a point where, they'll start going out. I was like, do you want to be my boyfriend? Let's be intimate. They call it intimate. They didn't call it like a fucking poke in the bike shed. They call it being intimate. Alright? But you can be intimate with loads of women at the same time, and they're all pals with each other. I felt horrible doing it. I actually ended up going out with two girls at the same time and was saying to my real life girlfriend, I might have to reload a save file from much earlier, because the guilt was actually affecting me. Because this is a game that has heart, and has so much heart, it's busting out the tiny wee Vita screen onto your hands, and you're having to wipe it off using kitchen roll and hide the kitchen roll because you think your girlfriend's going to be wondering why you've used up so much kitchen roll and you've only made a bacon sandwich in the George Foreman grill, you know what I'm saying? Now, the battle system in Persona 4, for anyone who's played a Pokemon style game, you'll know exactly what you're doing. Your main characters have got a kind of physical attack they can use, but if you're wanting to use your magic attacks, you're using your personas. So these are like kind of little playing cards you create or you find after battles, and you kind of summon them, whether that's to do a heavy electrical attack or to make you immune from certain other kind of elemental attacks. You can also, during the battles, you can take direct control of all the 4 characters, or you can kind of set different types of AI to them, so you can have them healing, things like that. To begin with, it's quite good to actually use the AI, the characters, to kind of help you in the fights while you're getting used to just how your main character controls. But I would say later on, it gets a wee bit spotty. You'll find you'll go into a fight and you'll be told from the off that this character is immune to wind. In fact, using a wind attack will heal the enemy character, so you'll start attacking it conventionally. Then the next guy beside you is like, hey, I've got a cracking idea, let's use a wind attack, and completely heal the character back to the point where you might as well not have done anything. That can be a bit annoying, but otherwise a lot of the time you can let them kind of do their own thing and it doesn't interfere with the game massively. But it's a nice fighting system, it's nice, straightforward, which is what's good for a game like this, because in many ways you'll play so much of the game and you'll play so much of it outside of the dungeons that you'll forget there's fights going on somewhere. You forget that you're actually saving people from demons and a murderer hidden in the shadows, because you spend so much time trying to figure out who to take to the hot springs, or who am I going to go on a bike ride with, because that's the key for Persona. It's a game about fighting monsters, but it's more about hanging out with your best pal and talking about where you hide your porn. Right, a lot of you out there have watched this video and thought, Scott, Persona 4 looks great, but I'm not buying a PlayStation Vita just to play one game. I'm not saying that, right? I've not said that once. Maybe I have said it actually. I can't remember what I've said. I'm drunk. But you see, if you do find yourself buying a PlayStation Vita, you're in the shop, you've somehow given money to a man and he's given one back to you, and you're looking at it trying to remember how you ended up with it. And you think, right, what am I actually going to buy for this? Because after you buy Metal Gear Solid for it, you're kind of, what am I buying? Buy Persona 4, because it's a brilliant game. Alright, it's long and it's going to be a time sponge. Everything you put into it's just going to absorb and absorb. But I've loved it. I've loved every minute. You know what? Persona 4 might be one of my favourite games. It might just be that good. You know what I'm saying? It's a game that just changes the way you look at the world, changes the way you think about things. Right now, when I go home, I'm thinking, I wonder if what I'm doing right now is going to raise my understanding or my diligence. It raises neither. But I like to imagine that it might. That it just might. That it just might.
Is elusive, it's no way to be.